This is Arukh Yardeh Siman Yud Gimel Seat Base to Dalet Day 52 of the Supplemental Arukh HaShulchan Yomi cycle. Kosav Base, Kosav Rambam. Mfikli Mesim Aleim Toch Hamayim Mutorim. The fish die on their own in the water. They are permitted. Mutar Chon Chaim, you're allowed to eat them alive. Hakan Lashono. Tafka Beim Chayes Over Shitzir Torah, the Tepuk Chayus and Beshchita, specifically by the animals and birds that the Torah requires that their life expire with shchita. Elon afki b'shchita. Misa, if they don't expire with shchita, but rather with death, have an abela, it's an abela. V'chein im acham mehem b'odam chaim have even a chaim. If you ate them while they were still alive, then you have the prohibition ever min a chai, a limb from a living organism. But fish and locusts, to take Torah but Torah not required that their life force should expire with shchita. Mimel the inkan avela b'shemesu, so there's no prohibition of avela if they died. There's no prohibition of eating from a living organism. Nevertheless, Yeshrim need aim to say that true there is no issue of Ever Min HaChai, which is the Torah prohibition unto itself. Nevertheless, also Chaim, you're not allowed to eat malai mishum balter saksu because of the prohibition of eating repugnant substances. It says in Shabbos Tav Tzadik Omen Beis and the Chulin Tav Sam Vav Ralph and the Mordechai in El Trefus. Zeshin with the Tosefta the Chumas and that which he learned in Tosefta and Selch Chumas Perik Tes that Ochel Adam Dogin Chayil Govim a person can eat fish or locusts Ben Chaim Ben Mason whether they're alive or dead. And a question doesn't be concerned. It means to say Ben Shemitzon Chaim Ben Shemitzon Mason whether you found them alive or dead. Avlecho, but to eat them Tzarech Hamtin Ashitamus. You have to wait till they die. But Rambam Mefarish Kapashalishan, the Tosefta Rambam going to the simple meaning of the Tosefta, you can eat them alive as well. Zem B'Shem B'Shas Shabbos Shom Mishum Baal Teshaktu. I had seen when the do violate Baal Teshaktu, not to eat repugnant things. This is an Eno Klali. It seems that this is not a general prohibition. Unless which most people find to be repugnant. Like it comes apparent from the Ram elsewhere. And before Shama Pratius says his volume, and he gives specific examples there. But something where pampered people Shemasim who reject. It's not prohibited to somebody who is not sensitive to these things. Taito Yofe is like a euphemism for Taito Eno Yofe, meaning that he doesn't care. Based on Akum, we learned the second paragraph with Zoret, Avchavtes, Gabe Kevas Ola by the intestines of an Ola. The Kohen should die to office. Sorvachai, a Kohen who is again in not sensitive to these things, can swallow it raw. Ayin Sham. Chedabinyan Zet. Here to the same thing. The Shabbos Ha'ish Gadol HaMa'alah. And so Shabbos, a person of lofty stature, day by him, Shaykh Bal Teshaktu, there's this issue of not eating something repugnant, not for other people. Nevertheless, since many of our rabbis forbid it, the Yeshla was we have to paskin not to eat these things alike. Like I said, if this prohibition is Doraisa Dorabanan, Bal Teshaktu, is Bar B'Sat Tishmai B'Simen Kufta Zayin, and is explained elsewhere. Since then by fish and by gokas there is no shchita in mela to lo shaykh behem treifas arvoim, so therefore there's no prohibition of organs or limbs which have mortal wounds, such as where the intestines have been pierced. The time of the treifas, the logic of treifas, because it can't survive a year. If a Thomas is going to die, but they're permitted if they die anyway. Says the brackets came Mashmor Ayin Behem and Beis, boiling in Tuma and Chum, seems to way for the Gemara there. Out of the brackets again, but Avagav the inner heta achil in terms of permissibility of consumption, aim by Mechil by Chayim Mason, there's no difference between alive or dead. Mikom Kamli and Tuma Yeshluch. There is a difference in terms of Tuma. The Mechayim Einam Matami Tumas Oichlin. While these even fish and birds are alive, they cannot Matami Tumas Oichlin. Even though they could be eaten alive. They're not matame, the tumor of foodstuffs. And we saw some time when they do die, they are matame. Which cause the Ram Bag Beis tumas oichlim. Like the Ram writes at time, and the reason is mishum the kol chai enam time levado them. Nothing alive can be matame except for human being. Kamanol b'hem simani also only a Jew, if I recall correctly. Midaraisa, Rabbanan also a guy. V'kamanol b'hem simani treifa, also if there appeared in them signs of treifa, mitami misafek. That's interesting. Then the mitami misafek much kosav sham. Okay. Now, Parashat Shmini and Ksiv, it says in the Torah, Vayikol Yirav, Kokoma Francis Parasah, any animal which has a split hooves, shows Shesa, and its foot is split. Paraprasos Malaske, shows Shesa, Malaskera, Pema also choose its cut in an animal also Tachlu. So Parashat Ksiv, Chol Beimam Francis Parasah, any animal which has split hooves, shows Shesa, Shteprasos, and its foot is split for the two hooves. Malager Beima. If it chooses its cut in an animal, so to chelu. V'shina kasa parshas a l'chtov shnei playing behema in parshas where it says twice behema, mutar it's superfluous. Mizekilu chazal. When this chazal had a according to this, they had a tradition ishu pi'ish. Generation to generation, going up to the bemkur mutzah below shchita. The shchita, that an animal which is found, a fetus found alive in a shechted mother's womb, is mutzah without itself being shchita. Klamar, be'emish shechtu, in other words, the animal which is shechted, paku kresa, and they broke open its, they burst open its stomach. V'nim say sham ubar, and you find their fetus mutzah is ubar ba'achila. This fetus is mutzah to eat. Al pishri the based on the shchita of his mother. Ben shenim tzachai, ben shenim tzamace, whether it's found alive or dead. Kamoshe is bar, as we shall see. So that's the babehema. The extra word the extra word behema, babehema. Although the HaShulchan seems to be going with just because it says behema twice, but I think it's because it's babehema. Okay. Mishadina Behema, the Reisha Behema, the Seifa. No, it seems like, maybe not. Shir Behema, the Reisha, Abba Behema, the Seifa. We link the Behema at the beginning of the pasuk with the Ba Behema at the end of the pasuk. But, here it says, Behema, name says Ba Behema, now which is found in the animal. Tochlu, you can eat a piece of Shchita, base and Shechtim, his mother. Not only that, Philo Sheet, even you extend your hand into the intestines of the animal, and you cut off a piece of the fetus there in its womb, and you left it there. When you permit shechta afterwards, even the cut up piece is permitted to eat. Masha Enke, as opposed to Shechatach Dover Mi Beima Atzma, you cut off an part of the animal itself. She's bought when she's by some simidal. There, B'shchita doesn't work for that. The Mishnah, the Chacham learned that in the Mishnah in Chulin Daf Samaches. But according to Shena Ubar Tzarech Shchita, all of this account is that the fetus does not require Shchita. The Nitam Shchita's emo, it's permitted by its mother's Shchita. That's it for today.